Welcome to another episode of New Jersey Mat Chat. I'm Pete. This is Doug, and today we got a special guest from South Jersey today, Jaden Simpson. Tell us all about this hammer, Doug.
Jaden Simpson, Camden Catholic Fighting Irish, upperweight 175-pounder, New Jersey State placer. Good kid, got some college ambitions going on, and my man knows how to talk. Good story.
So without further ado,
you know, let's start talking about the kids who aren't ever talked about.
exactly. Welcome to Jersey Mat Chat.
Jaden, thanks for coming on, first of all. Thanks for taking a ride. Yeah, you're welcome. So Camden Catholic, first of all, how's the school? If anyone's thinking about going to Camden Catholic, sell it to them.
No, it's a great school, great wrestling program. Like the team, like we really push each other. It's a family. Like everybody likes everybody. No bad blood. Everybody wants to get better. Everybody's goal is to get better and push their teammates to be the best they can. And it's just a great family. We got amazing coaches like Bill Heverly, TJ Miller. They're always pushing us, making us the best we can, and we can't do what we do without them.
Who's the I like to say sensei. Who's the sensei in that room? Who's the on mat guy?
TJ. TJ is the one that runs. He's the main guy that runs the practices.
Gotcha. Yeah, TJ was stud.
Yeah.
He was a total stud, and he's a very, very business-like guy. I think I did make him laugh one time during a match. I think I might have been the only person in New Jersey history to make him smile during competition. Good guy, great coach. Yeah,
exactly,
no one can argue the program. So tell me about Camden Catholic academically. You know, social life. Like, what kind of campus is it? You know, is it
smaller school? Like I'd say it's smaller than some public schools. Definitely. I say like probably about 200 kids to a grade. Good academics, I'd say probably like what you expect in a Catholic school, co-ed, just like your average school. Like it doesn't feel like when you go into Camden Catholic, it doesn't feel like you're in this crazy like rich like upper class school. Like you feel good, you feel normal, like a public school, honestly.
No, what public school would you have attended if you went public?
Audubon.
Audubon, okay. Audubon's a tiny school. Yeah. Tiny school down in the Old Colonial Conference. Similar to Paulsboro, Haddonfield, Haddon Heights. It's about 8, 9, 10 different towns all bunched together in, one little area. Mm-hmm. You know, all old towns and stuff like that. So when did you know you were going to be a member of the Fighting Irish?
I'd say probably like near the end of my freshman year at Paul 6, I realized I wanted to.
That's right. You went to Paul 6. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I realized I wanted to make wrestling my life. So I quit playing football, and I knew to get better, I should do the school I feel like I fit best in, which was Camden Catholic. I talked with them my 8th grade year, and I almost went there, but because of playing football, I ended up choosing Paul 6, which it wasn't bad, but I just felt like to get better, I need to go to get better competition, better coaching, and that's why I chose Camden Catholic.
Yeah, well, Camden Catholic's football team at that time was terrible, if I remember. Were they or were they not?
Yes, they were.
Yeah. So I forgot about that. He started off at Paul the 6th, which is near that area.
Yeah.
But that's interesting, though. So you dedicated to wrestling over football. You decided to go full-fledged wrestling. What made you make that choice?
Just enjoying wrestling more. Like after my freshman year, like I loved my freshman year at Paul 6. I loved the coaches and my teammates, but I wanted to do more. Like I wanted to get bigger competition, and I also just didn't feel like playing football anymore. So that's why I made the switch to Camden Catholic.
Makes sense to me. What now, as far as club-wise, what do you do? Where do you go?
Honestly, I've just been going the Lamb train. Nice, close to me. I love Lamb. He's coached me since I was probably like 10 years old, and he's just always been there for me, and I love having him as a coach.
Yeah.
Well, we spoke to the Lamb train.
Yeah.
And actually, Michael Lamb actually identified you as one of the more, and this is crazy, but one of the more underrated guys in the room. So tell us.
I disagreed with him.
I know, but I mean, tell us why that is. I mean, he said you're better than even in all the accolades you have, that you're even better than that.
Maybe sometimes because I can be like soft, like slow, quiet, not always out there. So I guess that's probably why he would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did
that's a good compliment. Yeah.
I just said I don't. He's a good wrestler.
Oh, man.
There's nothing about
you're underrated. That's something.
Yeah, that's underrated. No, it's all good. So did you prior to Lamb Train? What did you dabble in? What rooms?
So last year I was in. I went to Seagulls for a little bit, and I went to Wresting for a little bit. Those were nice experiences.
Okay.
Vinny.
Yeah.
Would you give any specific club credit for a sudden increase in your skill set or anything along those lines?
I'd have to go to like my 7th and 8th grade year. A club when it was there, Underground in Runnymede with Crowley and Taylor Walsh. They both really helped me, especially Crowley. I felt like in 8th grade, especially like during up to youth states and post that, I feel like I made a little jump in my wrestling.
Yeah, I remember that club. That wasn't around long, but yeah, it was a little club, a lot of hammers, good coaches. Yeah, I remember that. What's your summer tournament plans?
So for the summer, I don't have a bunch. I know I'm doing New Way Summer Nationals, but like I am gonna do a lot of stuff. Just it's more in the fall, like Waterway Duels, Elite 8 out in Georgia, Super 32, and Journeyman. Those are stuff I'm planning to do since I haven't gotten to do them yet. And it's my last year.
Yeah. I mean, time flies. Man,
it goes quick, right?
It does.
Yeah.
So now, you don't dabble in freestyle?
Nah, I tried it last year. I just wasn't a big fan.
It's good for some, not so good for others.
Yeah.
You know, it's a unique style that I think the thing with freestyle is, and Jaden, you might agree or disagree, it's just that it's so easy to get humbled there because the scoring is so different, and you can get clobbered in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's very weird, very weird. Like one match you're having a really close match, and then the next you get teched because you get caught in a gut wrench.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, so when you were a little dude running around Audubon, do you remember who you used to like look up to and watch wrestle and want to go bug your dad to go see wrestling? You remember?
If I'm being honest, I didn't really like follow high school wrestling a lot when I was little. I'd say when I started following like older wrestling was probably when I got into like 6th grade, but it was at first college wrestling. Like the first thing that comes to mind, they say, who'd you look up to? I'd have to say was actually not New Jersey, but Penn State with Bo Nickel, Mark Hall, and Vincenzo Joseph. Those are 3 I really like to watch. Also, Zahid Valencia. Like I wouldn't say it was probably like late 8th grade year, even my freshman year, when I started to really like learn about follow high school wrestling.
The perspective is that the guys that they looked up to when they were kids, it's hard to believe that those guys wrestled that long ago.
Yeah,
the names you're mentioning seemed like they were just. I was watching them on ESPN 3 years ago.
Yeah,
but it's been 10 years ago. You know, time flies. It's crazy how quick time flies. Do you consider yourself? I know you wrestle and I know you compete, but for example, a lot of baseball players won't watch baseball when they retire or won't watch baseball if on their night off. Do you find yourself watching wrestling whenever you can?
I definitely watch it from time to time. Like I enjoy watching college. Like I went to the NCAA's on the final day for my birthday, and that was just an amazing experience. Like the atmosphere alone in Starachi's match was totally worth it. Yeah, like that was just amazing to watch.
Yeah, right across the bridge.
Wow, you were there live. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was only like 15 minutes. Yeah,
this year it was
in Philly, right? That's right. Yeah.
It doesn't come to the East Coast often, which I don't understand why, but it should. I mean, I look at it this way: if they can have Fargo in the middle, if the biggest freestyle tournament in the country is in North friggin' Dakota, and everyone goes there, the NCAA should be on the East Coast every year, and everyone should come here.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever. I don't make those decisions.
For those that don't know, how would you describe your wrestling style?
So I'd say like I'm much more of like a mat wrestler, like top and bottom. I'd say I'm still decent on my feet, but like not like your very typical wrestler. Like I don't shoot a lot. I'm more like slide bys and shot defense. So a little unorthodox, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah, I see. I think you're tough to score on though from the feet.
It's a little different for a big guy though, right?
Yeah, so that's I'm glad we see what we try to do here is we try to balance the best we can anyway. We don't want to bring in a steady dose of lightweights. We don't want to bring in a steady dose of heavy. You know, we'd like to bring in a nice mix because I'm interested in the styles of the bigger kids compared to the little guys. It's known the little guys are faster, quicker. They scramble a lot more. They're just boom, 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 boom. But the bigger guys, they still do those things, and they're good at it. But I think, and I'm going to ask you this, is that have you been taught to wrestle like a little guy as a big guy? Or have you been taught to wrestle like a big guy as a big guy?
I'd say a little bit of both, but definitely like what you're saying, like to wrestle like a little guy as a big guy. Like most practices, I feel like you can see at clubs, like they do transition more to the little guys because there's a lot more just offensive shots, scrambling motions, which I do find myself in a lot. Like on shot defense, I wind up in a lot of scrambles, I'd say, especially for a big guy.
Because the best big guys wrestle like little guys.
Yeah.
And there's no coincidence.
Yeah.
Because you catch someone, like you're athletic.
Yeah.
You catch someone big. that's athletic, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in trouble unless you can match his athleticism. But I've always, I'm a father of a small kid. So I've always wondered, as a big kid, do they now train big kids to be little, to wrestle little? And I've always wondered how often they train that, or is that just the new thing now?
Like, does it evolve the same for everybody?
Yeah, or do you embrace being big? And no, I'm going to wrestle like a big guy. And that's why, I'm interested to hear, these big guys, how they answer it. I don't know.
Were you always kind of a big guy?
Yeah. I always say that. Honestly, especially when I was younger, I'd say I was like probably always on like the bigger end, especially in like 6th, 7th grade. For duels, I was always like one of the last 4 weights. See, I've always been a bigger kid.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. So you said at Paul 6 you were football.
Yeah.
So you're growing up, and prior to high school, it was football, wrestling?
Yeah, football, wrestling, both. I loved them the same. I enjoyed them both. Football for about 4 months, wrestling for about the rest, because the football season's a lot shorter because there's not as much off-season stuff you can do.
Did it ever come a point in time where you realized that you're just not big enough to play football at the next level?
Honestly, that was probably my freshman year, because the issue I had with football was being a bigger kid in general. I was always on the offensive, defensive line.
Yeah,
so
which makes you too small at the next level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was the issue. Like my freshman year, I was only 180 pounds playing center and DN.
I don't know. I can't relate to being a 180-pound freshman. I know there's plenty of kids that are. But I can't. To me, that's big.
It's a big boy.
I mean, I'm way over 180 now. But I can't. That's a big freshman.
Yeah.
It's a big 8th grade.
Yeah.
Now, did you hold back?
Yeah,
you were hold back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you hold back for maturity reasons, or did you hold back for other reasons?
I'd say it was for sports, because in the wrestling world, like a little maturity, but for sports.
No, I get it. It makes total sense to me. So, do you think, in terms of, did football help you in wrestling and vice versa?
I definitely agree with that. I feel like wrestling helped me a lot more with football. I feel like especially in the early season, because I was always well conditioned. Like especially football, I never struggled with conditioning reasons, because wrestling always helped me with that.
Yeah.
And I say football helped me with being strong in wrestling. I feel like being an lineman, you have to be strong. So I feel like it all helped me with my strength in the end.
So ultimately, your decision to give up football was, give me the main absolute reason you gave it up.
I lost a little bit of love for it, and I gained that in wrestling. I feel like it stopped being 50-50, and it was more wrestling. I want to do this.
On the opposite end, because you always hear wrestling, I always hear wrestlers will go to football and they adapt pretty quickly because they're like, hey, these guys get a lot of rest. But with the wrestling thing, has anything from football helped you in wrestling?
I say like strength-wise, yeah. And then maybe like footwork can help a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So you were a 4th place finisher at States.
Yes.
Obviously you've projected upward very nicely. No major, and even doesn't mean you stink.
Yeah.
You haven't had a hiccup.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So with that being said, any college interests, any recruiting going on? Any visits set up? Anything like that?
Yeah, I have a visit with an American coming up soon in a couple weeks. I've been talking to other D1 schools like Hofstra, Clarion.
Okay. Now, American's in D.C., right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Clarion put that on the map for me in Pensy. Is that Pensy? That's Pensy, right? Clarion?
I think so.
That's Western Pennsylvania.
Western Pensy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's out near Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, it's near Pittsburgh, yeah.
All right, Clarion.
Yeah. I know Hofstra.
Hofstra's always been a legitimate program, but they all have.
Yeah.
But I just was never sure where American was. I had a feeling they were DC though. So you have visits set up?
Yeah, with American, I do have one set up, and I'm looking to set one up with Hofstra too.
Okay. So when is the American visit set up?
June 13th.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So that's an official visit, I'm assuming.
Unofficial.
Unofficial visit.
Yeah.
Okay. Unofficial. So you're going to go down there, and what are your expectations?
Just get to explore the campus. I'm gonna get to roll with the guys in a practice, which that'll be real fun, and just see how I envision myself there, I guess.
Academically, you're pretty sound?
Yeah.
What's your GPA?
3.44.
Okay.
And I think
Got it down to the 10th. I love it.
Yeah, and then it should grow as this year ends, and I'm just gonna keep looking to improve it into my senior year.
Okay. Does American require certain SAT requirements or anything like that, or is it?
I'm not sure about that exactly, but I will be taking my SATs soon.
Okay.
You got any advice for people who are entering the stage you're at now for colleges when they're being recruited?
So the one thing I did is definitely go be the one to reach out first. That always helps. I feel like email coaches, do the recruiting forms. Like don't wait for them. Like go to them. I feel like it helps honestly. Like it makes colleges happy. Like I think it might make coaches like happy to see people reach out to them.
Shows initiative.
Yeah. Initiative. Yeah.
What do you feel like? And what areas do you need to improve to be competitive in college?
Honestly, mainly my feet. I gotta sharpen my offense up on my feet more, and I feel like that's the missing ingredient right now that I need for my wrestling.
That makes sense. Yeah, I get it. The goal is always to be as rounded as you can.
Yeah.
But I think again, I'm intrigued by the bigger guys, and as we get more and more bigger guys in here, I'm learning. Again, I'm a father to a small kid. I have all the answers, most of the answers for a small kid, but I have no answers for the bigger kids. And it's like I said, I enjoy talking to the upper weights. Gives me a different perspective. Gives us all a perspective.
When you need some time off from wrestling, what do you like to do?
I'll still go to the gym and lift, and mainly video games. Like I love video games, so that's my main thing to do when I'm not wrestling.
So why do they call you Ludwig?
Oh, that's funny you say that. It's actually my Xbox username.
Ludwig.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
That fits.
Good segue.
I'm gonna grease the PA announcers in states like $50. Yo, call him Ludwig Simpson. Would it trigger you to that's your name if they called you that?
It would be funny to see, and I could see that.
I
Yeah,
like that,
it's
Ludwig.
funny.
What's your game? What's your game?
I've been playing a lot of UFC 5. I've been playing WWE 2K25, Marvel Rivals, just a bit of everything.
A lot of sports. I like that.
Yeah.
It's my style.
Nice. Yeah. So now, for those who don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you do know, but your dad runs Revival.
Yes.
Revival's a dual team, elementary, middle school, high school, and he started out a few years ago. And you go to any major dual event in the country, well, mainly on this side of the country, you'll see Revival Blue, Revival Yellow, Revival Aqua, Revival Turquoise, Revival Orange, Revival Black, Revival White. His dad's a maniac when it comes to just putting together teams. I wish he was here because I would like to ask him, but I'm sure he can answer some of these questions. So how many times do you hear your dad freaking out on the phone when someone decommits from a Revival team?
Oh, all the time, because you'll get it a lot when it's like a week out, a couple of days out, and it happened actually a lot recently for Virginia Beach. It happened a bunch.
Can't imagine the excuses. I can't imagine the excuses. I broke my wrist, or my cousin's third birthday party. But what happens is a lot of kids just jump teams for whatever reason, or their buddies are on this team. But his dad runs. There's got to be sometimes he puts together all levels. 20 teams?
Yeah, I think he's gone at least up to maybe not 20, but like at least 16. I feel like 15. Yeah,
16 times 15 weights or 20 weights.
You got to worry. All those guys got to make weight.
No, that's not even the issue. That's not his fault. I mean, that's not his worries. It's the fact that he's got to fill these weight classes. And obviously he's trying to get the best talent he can. And then, like I said, he's constantly dealing with, I can't wrestle. Now he's got to fill that spot. These kids are traveling 300 miles away, and he's nuts.
Do you think it's gotten easier since the reputation has grown?
Definitely. He's also, I feel like with him being a big name now, it's not as hard as it was to find. Just sometimes you just got to know the right people and for the right events.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Revival typically, he does a great job of representing his brand well. I'll put it that way. You're not gonna beat some teams that are just put together on the internet. Some teams are just so ridiculously stacked with talent from all over, and but his dad does a good job of maintaining his brand. I'll give credit when credit's due.
And how much has that helped you then?
A lot, because honestly, he started Revival just for an easy way to get me to do these duels, and it's helped a lot. Like competing, because almost every Revival team I've been on, we've been competitive, so I'm always wrestling the best of the best at duels, and just it helps honestly when you wrestle the best, because even wins or losses, you learn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna if you don't mind, I'm gonna share the story because I think it's my biggest horror story of my life. Jaden, my son, his father, and myself. Drove to Lansing, Michigan. This was 2019 for a tournament, a full tournament. But here's the funny. Drove. We're cheap pricks, but still we drove. But here's the funny part. We did not get the tournament was over on it was a Sunday. We did not get a room Sunday night because his dad had to get up early, very early the next day to go to work or whatever. So no big deal. But here's the kicker. We got up that Sunday at 5 a.m., 8. It was a goal pool round. Okay, highly competitive goal pools. We're in Michigan and 7 hours in the goal pool and we're done. Then it hits home that I have to drive back to New Jersey from Lansing, Michigan. But his dad, just once you get the PA, I'll take over. I just need a quick nap. I'm like, cool, right? Well, we get the PA. He's out like a light. Luke's out like a light. Scott's out like a light. I'm exhausted. I am so tired, but I got 2 precious packages in the back seat. I don't give a shit about his dad. I got 2 kids in the back seat. I think I stopped 13 times for coffee. I had to drive. It was a 9.5-hour ride home and I was partying the night before with all the dads on Saturday night and the Sunday. And I drove and drove and drove through the night. Got home I believe at 3:30 in the morning. And it was the worst road trip of my life. And Scott never woke up until we pulled into Jersey. And I finally said, dude, it's your turn. And he's all, we're home, dude. We're home. He totally left me hanging. I don't hate him for it, but it was my worst ever driving experience. And what it was revolved around? Wrestling. But I shared 18 hours in a car with this kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
While he was sleeping.
For the most part. Yeah, while I was sleeping. But a great event. These kids got they were walking around Michigan State campus. But that's what I mean by the grind with Revival. And the opportunities he's been given where you travel the country, you see things that you normally wouldn't see. You see wrestlers that you normally wouldn't wrestle. So his dad does a great thing. He's also an ambassador to growing the sport and to giving kids opportunities, kind of what we do here.
Yeah.
Same thing, but in a different realm, So it's good. You're lucky to have a dad that does that, because I would not, under any circumstances, do what he does. No chance. So looking ahead, do you think, before we look ahead, you're a junior, you've had 3 years. Reflecting on the first 3 years, how do you give yourself a grade?
Probably like a B plus. I feel like.
Okay.
Cause like there was some stuff that could have been a little better. Like each year you had that thing that like it was so close. Like for example, freshman year, up by 1 in the match to go to states, get high on legs with 12 seconds left, get caught in pins. That sucked. Sophomore year, losing by 2 in the Bloods that escaped the rock hurt, and then losing by 1 off a stall call in the Bloods at states really hurt. And then at the NHSCA national tournament, freshman, sophomore year, I blood rounded both. So,
but you've been steadily going up. That's what I mean. So
that's the only good thing. Yeah,
I respect the B plus. I mean, I get that, but there's as long as you're doing this, and it's really hard to avoid that hiccup.
Yeah.
Like you see that heartbeat scan, right?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't had that drop yet, and that's impressive. So now moving forward to senior year, expectations.
Yeah.
So all the big tournaments I'm doing, I want to place like Beast. I've done it twice. Escape the Rock. I've done it twice. Now I feel like I got a place for my senior year, and then for states, I'm trying to win a state title. It'd be just the best if I can win states my senior year.
What are you projecting? What weight next year? 75 again?
Honestly, there's a chance I might go 90 if I get a little bigger. Then I probably will go 90 because I'm up to like 96, 97 right now. So if I were to get up to like 205, then I'd go 90. But if not, I'd make the cut to 75.
Yeah, the upper weights it gets tricky because the weight gap is so much more.
Yeah.
So the drop of weight class it's
a big difference. Yeah,
it's significant. Yeah. So wow. So you're that big? You're 196?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you had what, if I remember, and I'm going on memory, but you had Chapman in the semifinals this year? Yeah, well, I mean, come on. You run into him, okay. The expectations got to be kind of, normalized there. Yeah. You bounced back, you won your consi, and then you wrestled for third and lost.
Yeah.
Who did you lose to for third?
Brock Osterwitz from CBA.
Yeah. Okay, so, you had a pretty damn solid year.
So senior year, you're walking in, right? And freshman walks in. What are you telling these guys that are wrestling? What's the advice you're giving them to get to your level?
just never give up. Keep grinding. If you really are that dedicated and you grind as much as you can, it's gonna pay off in the end. And that's how I felt taking fourth this year. Not complaining about a practice. Just keep going. Keep your head down. Like, don't need to cause anything, and it's gonna pay off. Like, trust your coaches.
Who's the biggest knucklehead in Camden Catholic's room?
What do you mean by knucklehead?
No, you know what I mean. Knucklehead.
Yeah.
Goofball. Clown. Jokester.
I feel like there's a lot, honestly. Like, we're all kind of up there.
You do have a lot of goofballs. The talented.
Yeah, talented.
But and lovable.
Yeah.
They are some goofballs.
Let's go on the other end. Who's the most underrated kid in your room?
Most underrated. Oof. That's a tough one. I feel like Michael Kraft has it sometimes. Like, yeah, he took fourth this year, but I see like a lot of like national stuff. He doesn't always get included, which I think he's right there. Honestly, I see both me. I see him and myself like right at that like borderline like rankings level like in the country.
Yeah. Well, rankings don't mean.
Yeah,
much.
they don't matter, but it's always nice to see.
I get it. Yeah, I get it, but don't focus too much on that. Because I mean, listen, you could be ranked wherever. If you shit the bed at an opportunity, what's that ranking mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You take care of business when you have to take care of business. But so tell me more about Heverly's the head coach. How's Hev?
I love him. He wants what's best for us. I trust him. He's helped me a lot. He's helped me grow a lot throughout the past 2 years, and I definitely owe my success to him.
Yeah.
And he's been great to have. Honestly, he's a great coach.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He can get wild, but he's a good dude.
Yeah,
he's a good dude. TJ is an incredible coach. Nothing but good things to say about that man. Yeah, I mean, listen, Camden Catholic has been a storied program for decades.
Right.
It's a shame you guys are stuck in B. I think fans would want to see you guys in A.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys, if you're competitors, you'd want to be in A.
Definitely.
The state of New Jersey has to do something to maybe hopefully fix that. Get the fans what they want.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, no, but Camden Catholic's, I can see why people want to wear the robe. So what is it about the robe? What's the mystique behind the robe?
I guess it's just cool to have. Like, it's a tradition they've had for like, I think since like the 80s or 90s. Just something cool, and it like.
What is he doing?
They're trying to clean up here. She's got headphones on. She obviously can't hear.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Rewards. It's a reward for success, I'd say. Like, you place as something that it was tough at, it's like a nice reward to have, honestly.
Yeah. You get to keep the robes?
So if I'm not mistaken, if you win states, you get to keep the robe you wore.
I like it.
Oh, that's
okay,
cool.
Yeah, I like
that's
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. I know other teams use the robe, but Camden Catholic's mystique is the robe. Like, most teams come out in sweats, pullovers.
Yeah.
They come out in literal robes.
Oh, okay.
It is a cool look. I will give them that.
Like a boxer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can take credit for originating that idea. I don't know. Who cares? It's a cool look. And he come out with bagpipes, right? They got a guy playing the bagpipes when they come out for home duels. It's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
They do it right. So any shout outs? Anyone you want to give thanks to for where you've gotten so far? Anything?
Yeah, there's honestly a bunch of coaches. One recent, only a couple years back, Rich Venuto, he was my Pulse 6 coach. I feel like he helped me grow, honestly, in entering high school as just a freshman. I felt like he gave me a lot of his time, and I really respect him and thank him for that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And if I'd say probably another coach would be, for when I was real little, Bosch Badger, Vineland Rooms. He really helped me. And then one last one I'd say is Fred Bachman.
Okay.
The basement with him.
Yeah, Fred does a lot for a lot of people.
The PA talent in general really helped me.
You're not telling me anything I don't know. So if you're wandering around Audubon, okay, what's the best eating spot in Audubon? Show your town some love. Where am I going to get a slice of pizza or a cheesesteak or a chicken parm or an omelet? Where are you going?
That's only a little hard because I'm not from Audubon. I am from Mount Ephraim, but it's only like 3 minutes.
Whatever. Just plug somebody. Make someone happy. make a business maybe tick up a little bit on some
I got it. You don't got to make weight. You got a day to eat wherever you want to go. Where you going?
Where are you going down?
Anything. It's going to be fast food. It's going to be Chipotle for me.
There you go. That's everywhere.
That's all good.
My son would have said the same thing.
Yeah. It's all good. Jaden, listen, man, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you, brother. It's been another episode of New Jersey Mat Chat. Attention, wrestling fans, parents, and future state champs. This is your podcast. We're shining a light on the toughest high school New Jersey wrestlers and coaches who are building warriors one takedown at a time. Follow us, like, and subscribe on your favorite platform. It doesn't cost you anything, but it goes a long way to support the show. Don't just watch the journey, be part of it.